Okay then folks, we're now 7 months on since I purchased the new Warrior compressor, and it's a good job I did really. Bought it in January, and obviously in March we had the lockdown, so we weren't able to fill air tanks up for a good 3 months, but this has kept me shooting. The price of it was around £170, and by the time I bought extra filter, the oil, I suppose it came to around 220 quid, so well worth the money. What I've been doing in that time, I've been writing a diary of the use of it, run time basically. In the 7 months I've had it, in total it's ran for 1 hour 58 minutes, which doesn't sound a lot, but you can feel quite a lot of air up in that time. Mainly I've used it in the garage for topping up the rifles when I've been doing chronographing, and I've also used it for topping up my air cylinders, so it's done a really good job. Like in 10 minutes it will fill 2-3 litre air tanks from 200 bar up to 280 bar, and that keeps me going for a long time anyway, so that's why it's only had less than 2 hours of use. In the first month they recommend you change the oil in either a month or the first 25 hours. Then after that it's every 3 months or every 50 hours. So I mean, I've only had to change the oil basically based on time. I've gone just a bit over now, we're into July, so this is my second oil change now. So all I need to do is basically release the plug on top, the Brevol, and then just undo the actual nut at the bottom, the bleed nut. I'm using an old baking tray to put the oil in, but it don't take much oil anyway. The actual oil that I've got, it's compressor oil. It's the Hydro ISO 46, which is recommended. So I'll just drain that now. But before you actually use the compressor, you need to check the oil levels, and you also need to make sure that the water pump is flowing. That's basically all you need to do. Like I say, they're not really designed for fully charging air tanks. If you want to do that, you need the 2-stage compressor, which you can buy for around £500, which is well worth it if the idea is just to fill compressors. But it's okay for topping your dive bottles up. Like I say, from about 180 bar to 290, it will take you about 8 minutes. But I've been usually, when it gets around to 200 bar, I'll top it up to 180, and that's taking me about 5 minutes with this, which is pretty good. Filtration on this, it only comes with one filter, so just to make it better filtering, I've bought an extra filter which costs about just over 20 quid. That's got 2 cotton filters in it, plus like, water absorbing beads, similar to what you'd probably get with any electrical equipment. So that's the first stage, and the last stage is the filter that comes with it, and that's basically another cotton bud. You just check them when you do your oil to make sure there's no oil coming through or water getting into it, but with that amount of filtration it's pretty good anyway. For the extra 20 quid it's well worth paying a bit extra. So still coming out. Like I say, it's not much oil in it at all really to fill it. We've got 5 litres there, probably enough there to last it bloody 10 years, the amount of oil it uses. But if you take the stopper plug out the top, it'll help it drain better, otherwise it might create a vacuum. But straightforward enough. But I've been pretty pleased with it up to now. It does its job. Like I say, I wouldn't use it filling tanks all the time. I did try filling the tank to 300 bar and the blast cap went off at around 195, so that's why I just fill it to 280, 280, yeah. It did blow at about 295 bar, but luckily enough it comes with about 3 blast caps anyway. Just stops it going over and exploding. But still coming out. Looks pretty clear. There's no metal filings in it or anything like that, so not a problem. It also comes with a complete seal kit as well, so you can service it by taking the top off and everything. The gauge on it, obviously need to make sure where the gauge needs to come up to when you're using it, and that'll be based on your rifle or air tank or whatever. Some, like the Air Arms S200, they'll top off at 190 bar and you'll get others that go all the way to 300. So this has not got the auto shut off, so even if you have got one auto shut off, I'd never leave one on its own running. Always, you know, keep an eye on it. And because you get a lot of vibration from these on the gauge itself, you're better off looking where it needs to go, and then just keep an idea of that point on your dial, and then take it off at that point. Right, while that's draining, we'll change the actual filters. So I'll take the front part off first. These have got gaskets on them. Basically they've got the like cotton buds. I know some people they wash them. I've got a little pick here that pull the cotton bud out with. So there we go. That's pretty clean actually. So that's the last point before the rifle. Just replace that. What I'll do next, I'll undo this one. Now this has got cotton bud on each end, and then it's in the middle. It's got the absorbing gel bits in it. You can probably buy those as well. They're just caps on one end, felt caps. It's the other end that's got the actual all the cotton bud in it. So those two felt caps are just to hold the gel pieces in place. Yeah, it's nearly empty now on the tank. We're on the last drops now. Right, now this one does look oily, but this was the first stage. But having said that, it's not the bud, it's another felt cap which has caught the oil, and when you get the bud out, although it has got oil on it, it's still not too bad. But that's the first part of the contact. So put another bud in, put the felt cap back on, and tighten it up. It's as simple as that really. But I do suggest get an extra filtration system like this, which you can get on eBay or AliExpress for around 20-25 quid. Well worth the extra money. Cost of a couple of tins of good pellets really. Keep your rifle safe. So that's the two filter systems sorted out. Let's say one's a cotton bud, the other one is a cotton bud and absorbing gel. Right. What I'm going to do now, we're almost there. I'll put the nut back on. Snip it up with a spanner. We'll top it back up with oil. Send that around. Better view of that. You can either use a funnel. I've got, as you can see, I've got a little pouring cup here. That's much more than enough there. Just keep an eye on the actual guide. A bit more. We're there. Basically needs to come to the top of the red dot. And when you've filled it, you put the plug back in. That's that. This part here fits on there. That's basically the drains any water out when you degas it. And that's it. It's basically service of the Warrior compressor. The process will be similar on the other compressors from China as well. So that's 7 months of use, and like I say, it's still doing well. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.